The house on 6 Mile Bend, Florida. On the edge of the Florida Everglades, where the land turns wild and the air feels thick with old stories, sits a lonely stretch of farmland called 6 Mile Bend. People who lived there spoke of shadows at dusk, footsteps in empty fields, and a man no one recognized standing near the cane rows. When Dr. Hans Holzer arrived to investigate, he found a haunting tied to land, labor, and a disappearance that had never been solved. This is the true story of the house on 6 Mile Bend, the land and its history. 6 Mile Bend lies west of Lake Okeechobee, a rural farming district where sugarcane fields stretch for miles. The land here has a long memory. In the early 1900s, this region was filled with small homesteads, migrant workers, and families trying to survive harsh storms and rough soil. People came and went. Records were thin. Disputes were common. One such dispute centered on a farmstead built in the 1920s. Neighbors whispered about a farmhand who vanished one night, a man who worked the fields and lived in the bunkhouse behind the main house. No one ever found his body. The local sheriff kept no real file. He was simply gone. Decades later, when families moved into the old house, the strange activity began. Residents described a tall shadow man lingering by the tool shed at sundown. Livestock reacted to something unseen, refusing to enter the old barn. Dogs growled at empty corners. One family saw a dark figure walk behind the cane rows, then disappear as if the ground swallowed him. Inside the house, heavy footsteps crossed the kitchen at night. Doors eased shut as though pushed by a slow, deliberate hand. A woman living there said she woke to a man's silhouette standing at the foot of her bed. When word reached Dr. Hans Holzer, he immediately recognized the pattern. A land-bound spirit. Unfinished business. Holzer arrived with trance medium Ethel Johnson-Myers and 2 investigators. The Florida heat pressed down, but the moment they approached the barn, the air turned cool. Holzer noted the temperature drop and said, "This is not weather. This is human presence." Inside the bunkhouse, Holzer found old tools, a rusted bed frame, and a wall stained with something dark and long-dried. Ethel stood in the doorway and whispered,
"He died here. He is still trying to be found."
Holzer believed the haunting was tied to the missing farmhand, not the house itself, a spirit attached to ground and memory. As night fell, Holzer held a séance in the bunkhouse. Ethel entered trance and immediately bowed her head like someone carrying a heavy weight. Her voice shifted to that of a frightened man. She whispered,
"They told me to stay quiet. They told me to walk with them."
Holzer asked what happened.
"I did not want trouble. They dragged me to the field."
Ethel clutched her throat as if choking. The temperature inside the bunkhouse fell sharply. A loud thud hit the wall behind Holzer. The team found nothing there.
"He is buried where the shadow falls."
Holzer and his team stepped outside. The moon cast long shadows over the field. At the exact spot where Ethel pointed, the wind stirred the cane as though something unseen had moved through it. The next morning, Holzer visited local archives and spoke with older residents. 2 confirmed that a migrant farmhand named Luis or Louis had vanished in the 1930s after a violent argument with 2 other workers. No one reported it. Nobody cared. He was a forgotten man on forgotten land. One elder claimed he did not leave, he was put in the ground. The location matched the very spot Ethel indicated. Holzer believed the spirit lingered not out of malice, but longing, a need for justice, a need to be acknowledged. Holzer concluded that the shadow figure was the spirit of the missing farmhand, still walking the fields he once worked. He wrote in his notes, "Some spirits do not wait for rescue. They wait for recognition. The land remembers even when men do not." He advised the family to acknowledge the man aloud, to speak his name, to honor the place where he fell. After they did, the footsteps quieted, the livestock calmed, and the shadow man faded from the cane rows. The haunting did not vanish. It simply softened. A restless soul finally heard. So, what do you think? Was the house on 6 Mile Bend haunted by a victim of violence, still searching for justice, or was the land itself replaying the memory of a forgotten man? Dr. Hans Holzer believed the spirit was not dangerous, only lonely. A reminder that every haunting is a human story waiting to be told. If you enjoy these true Holzer investigations, like, subscribe, and join us next time as we open another case from America's first ghost hunter.